2,539. We did a gate of 1.53 million. So, what the hell did they write here? This is wrong. This is not right. We'll figure this out. Yeah. Go right under the bus. So, this gets a little weird tonight. Travis Brown gets knocked out of the night, $50,000. Matt Brown gets knocked out of the night, $50,000. Chael Sonnen gets submission of the night, $50,000. And fight of the night is McDonald and Pickett. They get $50,000. So, congratulations to all of them. Who's got the first question?
We can start with you, Dana. Can we just get your thoughts overall on the night? Obviously, a big night for the company. Seemed like fights tended to deliver tonight. So
Yep. We built a card that we wanted people to go out to find Fox Sports 1, and you know how it goes. Sometimes you build a card and it looks great on paper. Sometimes it doesn't work out that way. It was awesome. There was one fight that I didn't love on this card. I'm sure I don't have to say what it was, and but I'm sure you'll try to make me. But it was a great card. Everybody came in, everybody fought hard, everybody delivered. It was an awesome, amazing night. The crowd couldn't have been better. They were here early for all the fights. They cared about all the fights, and yeah, I couldn't be happier.
Charles, I could ask you. Obviously, the kick ended up being a big weapon for you. That's been a bad thing for you in the past as well. I'm curious, did you know when you threw the kick a lot? Did you know coming in that was going to be your strategy and that was going to be the weapon you tried to use?
Yeah, we looked at him from his K1 days and all of his pretty much UFC fights, and we looked for a common denominator in what he did and some of his openings. And we came up with a game plan, and I didn't really execute it when I was laying on the ground, crying like a little girl. But when I stood up, it just all it did was make me angry. And I knew I wasn't going to go back down. I wasn't going to go down one more time. And I just moved forward and started executing our game plan.
During that flurry while you were on the ground, we thought he landed an illegal knee while you were down. Do you remember that sequence? Did you feel like maybe you did get struck with an
I thought he did too.
Yeah, no, I didn't. At the end of the day, man, this is a fight. This is what I signed up for. And something like that happens, I know he's not trying to do anything on purpose, I mean, at the end of the day, you just went out there to do your job. And I didn't feel anything different. I just felt him hitting me. So I just knew I needed to get up and get back to work.
And just finally, if I could please for Matt, I know you're obviously not one that likes to ask for things and press for things, but you're on a very impressive win streak. It seems like you've been kind of under the radar for a long time now. This was an impressive win. Do you feel like you're in a position now where you can make some demands, you can make some requests of what you get next?
I don't know, I'll fight whoever they want me to, man, but, obviously there's only, I'm only in this sport for one thing, and that's to beat TSP's ass.
Put him on the radar. You guys are going to be the ones voting tomorrow, Monday. Put him on the radar. Throw that at me.
Evelyn Rodriguez from Globo.com. I want to ask Shogun, I'm sorry, I'm not doing Portuguese. Shogun, você não era finalizado desde 2007, quando você lutou contra o Forrest Griffin e foi finalizado no terceiro round. Você pode explicar como você viu essa finalização e, enfim, a luta, como ela aconteceu e, enfim, mandar uma mensagem pro pessoal do Brasil?
The question is, that Shogun was not submitted since he fought Forrest Griffin, so she wants to know how he feels the submission and what happened during the fight, and if he has anything to say to Brazilian fans.
Fiquei muito triste com a derrota, acho que ninguém ia perder. E o Sonnen foi feliz e eu fui infeliz, né? E a recada do povo brasileiro é que eu dei meu máximo. Eu sou a pessoa que menos quero perder, sou eu, então eu subo lá em cima, pegava porrada na cara, então eu sou a pessoa que menos quero perder, mas não deu, hoje não deu.
So I'm really sad with the loss. Nobody wants to lose when we get there. Tonight, Sonnen was happy and I'm not. I just want to say that when I go there, I'm going to go inside the octagon. I I don't want to lose. I try my best, and that's what I did tonight. So I just want to say that tonight is one of my nights.
Then Chael called Vanderlei Silva inside the octagon. He called him out. That fight can happen.
Well, it's obviously a fight that Chael wants, but there's a lot of options right now. At 205, you can fight there, you can fight at 185, because obviously the media has had him ranked number 8 or 9 at 185 underneath guys that he actually beat. So, you know, obviously a win over Shogun puts him in a great place at 205. It puts him in a great place at 185.
Last question for Faber. I just want to know, like, how is your jaw and your thoughts on the fight when you read?
My jaw's okay. I thought I broke it after that first little, when he punched me in the face a bunch. It hurt when I turned it back around, pissed me off, and but I don't think it's broken. I've been eating, and Yuri's tough. I think it was hitting hard, and I have to go back and check out exactly how I got in a bad position, but I think it was some sort of lateral drop. You know, he and I are the same kind of fighter. We go out there and get crazy, like, right off the bat. So that's kind of what happens. Sometimes you know, it starts out bad, but it's all about how you finish. And I want to finish on top.
Ready, I have a question. First, I want to say thanks, you guys. This was a really awesome, really exciting, a lot of fun. Michael, I have a question for you. You came in here and stole Joe Lozon's thunder. You looked fantastic tonight. How did you feel about your performance? And, you know, did you feel any sort of sense of hostility coming in here?
Of course, you're always going to feel hostility coming in somebody's, home field, their backyard, and expecting to lose. I felt it since the day I won and lost it up until walking out of the fight, even after winning the fight. But I feel good. The fight was good. I definitely wanted to finish it, but at the same time, I'm fine with getting out of here with a dominant performance like I did.
And in the past, you kind of won one, lost one, maybe consistency wasn't always on your side. Have you changed anything in the camp? Do you feel like things are going in a way that you can be more consistent?
No, I haven't changed anything at all. It's just, it's time to get serious. It's time to buckle down. It's time to actually make a run for this title, which is that's why I'm in sports. So no changes, just the usual.
Thanks.
Chael. Hey, we've been talking, you mentioned wanting Anderson, but tonight you talked about Vanderlei. And I want to get your thoughts on which guy, I know you want Vanderlei right now, but why'd you call out Vanderlei rather than Anderson? I know Anderson had a fight, but I know how badly you want him.
Well, I'm not chasing the belt. Sometimes I'm just chasing guys. John Jones was an example. I just wanted to fight John Jones. He just happened to have the title. Anderson doesn't have the title. Projected biggest UFC of the year, December 28th at the MGM Grand. Anderson's got his hands full. I'm not trying to interject myself in that. But the reality is, that frustrates me. And there's some losses that do. And I'm a stubborn guy, and I know he's got 2 wins, but I think I could get him on the 3rd one. That's all I was commenting on. Vanderlei Silva drives me insane. Vanderlei Silva tells the media that he wants to fight me. I would love to fight Vanderlei. Vanderlei insists that fight has never been offered. That has been a big marquee fight for years. This company puts on big marquee fights. To believe that he has not been offered that fight is ridiculous, and it pisses me off. And all I need from him is for him to say he doesn't want to do it. And then I'm out. I'm not a bully, and I'm not going to pick on him. But if he continues to say it, he's going to continue to get me to respond.
And I want to talk to you about your performance tonight. You had 2 losses in a row. People like to say Chael is just about talk to get these fights, but tonight you put on a tremendous performance. And is this kind of like a statement fight that there's more to Chael Sonnen than just talking about fighters and getting these fights and what have you?
Well, look, I fought the #1 ranked guy in the world 7 times. I fought the #2 ranked guy in the world 4 times. I won all of those fights. I fought 13 guys ranked in the top 10, and I won 10 of those fights. I hear that about myself too. I hear that Chael's all talk. But I fight some very, very tough guys. I won national championships in college because I had to beat 4 and 5 guys in one day. I'm very proud of my wins and losses, but I'm not afraid to call out a guy. I'm not afraid. This is America. You won't get anything that you don't ask for. And there's certain guys that I want to fight. And if I can have the smallest hand in my own career, I see that that's a wise thing to do. And that's where the talk comes from.
Plus, the whole he's a all talk thing is just so crazy. I mean, people write stories about this and say this stuff. It's ridiculous. First of all, he stepped up to fight John Jones on like no notice whatsoever. Stepped up to fight John Jones, and he fought Anderson Silva. He lost to the two pound-for-pound best fighters in the world, both world champions. One's the greatest of all time. One's on his way to be the greatest of all time. At 185 pounds, where the media ranked him at number 8 or 9, he beat Michael Bisping. He beat Yushin Okami. He beat Brian Stan, and the list goes on and on of guys who were ranked above him. He's beat all these guys. All that stuff comes from you guys. You guys rank these guys. You guys write the stories. That's where all the talk stuff comes from. He's not talking. I say this all the time. This guy steps up and takes big fights. He asked for the Shogun fight.
Can you give me your thoughts on his performance tonight?
He submitted Shogun. That's huge. What he did tonight, I don't think anybody saw that coming. And in the beginning, if you look at the betting lines, he started out as the favorite. Chael did, and then it flipped, and Shogun became the favorite. You know how that happens? It means a lot of money went on Shogun for that thing to flip the way that it did.
Question for Dana. You had an unusually high number of bonuses tonight, so
there's going to be more.
Pretty happy.
There's going to be more.
And so the question is, first of all, for you, do you feel you'll be coming back to town anytime soon?
Absolutely. First of all, I love this city. This is a great city. It's a great sports town. I've had a blast since I've been here. And I just want to point one thing out. In all the things that were said this week leading up to this fight, I wasn't talking about the Athletic Commission here. I was talking about Commissioner Murphy. That's who I was talking about. I think a lot of good came out of this. Because, we all know, we've been through this all week, we've been talking about this, that the union came in here and, they got some union puppets fired up in this town and they came after us. But, when this whole thing is all resolved, I think that everybody in the city of Boston, the people like the Athletic Commission and people who are involved in combat sports here, love this event and want us to come back again. And it's like, you're going to laugh at this, but I like what the union does. You realize how much stuff they stirred up this week and what they did and how much this was on the radio and how much it was talked about because these guys came in and played their little games that they play. And you even saw the Boston Globe wrote a story basically saying this was all just a union smokescreen trying to get at the UFC. These guys are bullies. They don't. Sheldon Adelson is? Yeah, Sheldon Adelson. You don't ever see it. They cringe when they hear that name. So when you guys were asking me the other day, why don't we just bow down to the union and give them what they want? We're never going to give them what they want. We're going to continue to do what we do. Sheldon Adelson beat him half to death, and we're going to do the same thing.
And for Cheryl, do you specifically see guillotine as your best path to victory when you're strategizing for this fight? And were you uncomfortable at any point during that round?
Yeah, I thought it was a hard fight. I got in a couple of positions, and I wasn't able to hit Shogun. I threw a lot of punches that missed. Nobody wants to be in half guard with Shogun. If you watch any video, that's where you stay out of. And I'm going to run around and say I'm a better fighter than Shogun. I'm just going to say I beat him. I caught him in a guillotine. And he caught me in a guillotine, I'd have had to tap out too. It was the first round. And if you get that position on a guy, it's very difficult to get out of. Relevance to the first round being is that we're not slippery yet. And he couldn't slip out of it. And the rules were then reversed. I'd have had to tap too.
So real quick. So Chael Sonnen is ranked by you guys, number 9. Rockhold, Philippou, Munoz, Jacare, Michael Bisping, whom he beat, and Okami, whom he beat, are all ranked above him. And then you got the top 3 are Weidman, Silva, and Belfort. Makes sense. Champion, and then 1 is Silva and 2 is Belfort. How is Chael Sonnen not number 3? Ask yourselves that question, ladies and gentlemen. Next question.
Maurício, você tem 21 vitórias em 29 lutas e é a primeira vez agora que você tem 2 derrotas em seguida. Mas você vê isso como um novo desafio na sua carreira, já que você continua sendo razoavelmente jovem?
So, Mauricio, you have 21 victories in 29 fights. was the first time that you lose 2 times in a row. So you see this as a new challenge in your career.
Agora que a derrota, eu realmente estou triste e vou sentar com a equipe daqui uns dias e conversar com a equipe e com certeza lutar o que eu amo e vou dar meu máximo sempre para sempre lutar e fazer o que eu amo, que é lutar e com certeza vou mostrar com a minha equipe o que eu devo fazer.
Right now I'm sad if they lost for sure. I'll sit down with my team and set up the strategy to see what I have to do in the future.
Dan, this question is for you. First, congratulations on a great event.
Thank you.
Have you heard any initial response from FS1 on viewer ratings? Do we have any numbers on that? And how important would that be for you for it to be high?
For it to be high?
For it to be high.
Well, I hope it's high. I hope it's the highest rated thing of all time. But, you know, here's the reality of it. Anytime you go to a new network, especially launching a new network, you know, there was a lot of, this thing didn't come out until Wednesday, a lot of confusion, whatever. Here's all I care about, is we delivered tonight, you know. We came in, again, I always say my job is bells and whistles, and the gentlemen sitting on the stage and the ones who aren't here right now are the ones who deliver. And we delivered tonight, you know. I did my part, they did their part, and I can tell you this, from the top of Fox all the way down, we've been getting thrown up saying congratulations and thank you so much and amazing. And we did our job tonight, no matter what happens on Tuesday.
Question for Chael. Congratulations on the win. Submitting a black belt and all your wins, does that stand out more than any other, given the fact that he's so decorated, the only former champion you beat, or champion, former champion, and also a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt?
Yeah, I think it does. I think it feels good, you know, but it's Shogun. The guy's a former world champion. He's going to be in the Hall of Fame. He's beat Liddell. He's beat Forrest Griffin. He's beat Machida. He's beat all these guys. He's beat guys that I know and have looked up to, you know, from the Kevin Randlemans to the Mark Colemans of the world. So, yeah, it feels good to, you know, when you squeak out a win or you catch a guy in a good tight lock. It's the biggest one I've had.
And can you talk a little bit about going down and doing the TV immediately after? I mean, there's not too many athletes. Some guys don't even want to get interviewed as they're leaving the field. You go and actually do a broadcast after the thing was over. What was going through your mind on that? Why'd you do that?
Well, I love it, and I would much rather participate than sit out. A gentleman had just asked about the ratings, and the truth is, all of us together, you guys and all of us up here, tonight was a bit of an educational process. The channel didn't come out until Thursday, and it was very tough to let people know. You could not set your DVR. You had to be a TV today. It was tough, but as far as an education goes, Dana's produced a lot of shows, and they've all succeeded. This one's not going to be good.
And Dana, if you could, Vitor, you know, kept saying he wasn't going to fight at 185. Now he comes out and says he wants to fight Chael.
Vitor, oh my God.
So
oh my God. It's like every time there's a fight, Vitor wants to fight that guy. You know what I mean? Yeah. I don't even know what to say to that. It's crazy.
So that's why it's not in the picture, I would think.
Like I said, there's options at 205, there's options at 85. Let's, you know, we'll see what happens.
One last question, Travis. When Overeem was hitting you, and you know, every time the ref said move, you weren't moving and everything. But A, how bad were you hurt at that point, and B, you know, were you afraid at all that he's going to jump in and stop, because he was leaning on his front foot a number of times?
Yeah, definitely. I was there mentally the entire time, and that almost made it worse because I could understand what was going on. My body just shut down on me when he hit me, you know, to the body. And I've never had that experience before, not in training, not in a fight. So it was the first for me. But yeah, you know, I was yelling to Mario like, I'm okay. He goes, move. And so I was like, okay, I'm gonna stand up. I can't breathe. I'm gonna stand up. So yeah, I just popped up and, you know, went to town and started working my game. Something I should have done from the beginning.
This is for Dan. Dan, I talked to Mark Ratner earlier today. He said you guys are bullish about Boston and that you will be back here.
We will be back.
You will be back in Boston.
No, this was a great experience. don't let all the stuff that was said earlier this week, you know what I mean, make you guys think, I love this city. This is my city, I love this city. And everything here was a huge success, it was great, and we will be back here.
This is a follow-up for John and for Connor. You guys, John, I know you're from Boston. What did it mean for you to come back here and win?
It was a dream come true, man. Ever since I was a little kid, I always went to Boston Gardens, the TV garden in Boston, and I always want to perform as an athlete, and it's just a dream come true. I can't believe it. I want to stay thanks to the UFC getting away to us over there. It was a dream come true. I'm still living dream, so it's
Yeah, it's an honor for me as well to come here, and this is like fighting at home for me, and you know, but really, I don't give a shit. It feels like a loss to me, to be honest. I wanted to finish, you know. I felt the finish was there for me, and I injured my knee midway through the second, and I just can't get it out of my head. But looking back, I should have just pulled my knee from my leg and hit him with it. You know what I mean? I'm up here listening to. This guy got up tonight, this other guy got up tonight, this guy got up tonight. I want that, you know what I mean? I don't come here for decisions. We are rewarded for finishes, and that's what I'm looking for. I am a finisher, you know what I mean? And anything else to me, other than stealing the show, I planned on stealing the show, and it didn't happen for me, you know, so right now it feels like I'm dealing with a loss at the minute, you know, so. The support out there was unbelievable. It was green walking out there. The place was green. There was green flags, fucking leprechauns flying around. It was unbelievable, really.
So one more thing that I forgot too when I was reading, they just told me too. We also gave, so submission of the night went to Chael Sonnen and McDonald. McDonald won $100,000 tonight.
Well, obviously, congratulations on that. For Michael McDonald, please. This was obviously one of the best performances of your career. Can you point to anything in particular that keyed your performance tonight?
I gotta go watch it so I give an accurate answer to that. But I think there was a lot of things that I changed. After every fight, I always create a list of things that I need to fix. It's not that big of a list when, like I fought Miguel Torres, like I hit 5 times. It's not that big of a list. Yeah, I gotta get better head movement, you know, be ready sooner for long range guys. I had a huge list with Brandon Barral, just changing my diet, my philosophy of just combat, and taking care of my body. I just feel a lot happier, not just in my body, but I feel a lot happier here and a lot happier here.
And a lot of people felt like you kind of may have gotten rushed a little bit to the top. I'm curious, you know, kind of what you want to do now. I mean, you're still right there at the very top of the division, but it's tied up a little bit. But I mean, what's your plan? What's your goal right now? Do you feel like, you know, you want to get back to a title shot right away, or do you feel like maybe there is some time for you to grow?
Honestly, I think that will come in time. I'm 22 years old, and it's not to me a matter of if I will, it's just a matter of when. And I don't care when. To me, this is about, I'm going to pay for my life for this job. I'm going to pay for this day. I'm going to pay for my house. I'm going to pay for my kids' college fund. And I'm going to help some people in the process. Yeah, I think the title will happen in time. But that's not what I'm focusing on. I'm just focusing on becoming a better fighter in time.
And one for Connor, if I could, please. Obviously, we know you're disappointed that you didn't get to finish tonight, but when you look back on this week as a whole, I mean, all the attention you got, it felt like a main event there. I mean, you guys even brought the lights down. I know you showed the walk-in live on TV. I mean, all this attention that was given to you. What do you think? I mean, there were some of us that thought, is it too much too early for this guy? Do you feel like that at all? Do you feel like it was right? What do you think about the week as a whole?
I mean, what these guys have done for me, you know, Dana, and giving me all this attention and putting this on me, these guys are making my dreams come true, you know, and I'm forever grateful to these guys. That's why this is a loss for me. I come out to finish every time, you know what I mean? Max is tough. I wanted some exchanges with Max, you know what I mean? I don't know, I'm blown away, but realistically, let's get the next one in, because I'm ready to whoop somebody real quick, yeah?
Question for you, Raya and Michael. It seemed like after this fight, both you guys had really good performances, and Twitter immediately matched you guys up. It seemed like that's what a fight that everybody wanted to see. I was just wanting to know what you guys thought of each other.
We're just talking in the back. We're about an hour away back home, and I was there at his first fight when he was 16, and it's been fun to watch. You know, watch the kid grow up, and we've always had a pretty good relationship, and I think it's a fight that'll probably happen. Yeah, mean, I don't make the matchups, but I don't want to get in with any three-piece combos from this kid. And, you know, so it's definitely going to be a battle if it ever happens.
Yeah, you know, to me, this sport isn't about having to hate people and stuff. Brad's a good friend of mine. One of the good people you meet. You know, there's a few people in the sport you should meet that are just good guys. You know, Uriah's a good guy. Like he said, he's been a friend of mine for a long time, and since my very first fight, I've known him. You know, and if it happens, it happens. You know, just like what happened with me and Brad Pickett today. You know, we touch gloves and we beat the crap out of each other. Hopefully, make some money and you know build our lives together. This is our job, and let's do it, man. You know, whenever the time calls for it.
See that? That's how it works. That's how it works.
Chael, over here. You obviously called out Vanderlei. Afterwards, it has been mentioned that Vitor wants to fight you. Also, Leo Machida said he wants to fight you via social media. Of those three, which do you prefer?
The whole country wants to fight him.
If you had your pick of everyone, would it be Vanderlei?
Aaron. I would beat up Vitor on the way to the ring to kick Vanderlei's ass. And I'll take there that third guy whose name I've already forgotten in the parking lot on the way to my after party. I would take all three. I'm not excited to sign a contract to fight Vitor or Little Nog because they pull out. They don't show up and fight when they say they want to fight. Everybody's a tough guy behind the keyboard, and so is Vitor. Now, I personally think Vitor is also an excellent fighter. He just doesn't always show up and fight. So I don't know how I'm supposed to go through one of these processes. Vanderlei, not for nothing, he will show up when he says he'll show up. The same thing goes with Anderson Silva. Whether Anderson's hurt or not, if he signs a contract, he shows up, and that means something to me. And some of those other guys don't, and it's tough. You know, Little Nogueira says he wants to fight Shogun. Why would Shogun sign a contract to fight a guy who said that before? He just did that. It's like Rare Rabbit. I wasn't born in the briar patch. Sure you were.
Is it 100% that your next fight will be at 185 pounds?
That was the plan, but let me stick around Boston a couple days. I'm going to get over to a place called Regina's Pizza before we get out to UFC tonight on FS1 on Wednesday.
Before Uriah, you obviously came out with some big news this week about wanting some big fights, which a lot of people weren't expecting you to talk about this before the fight. Can you expand now on what you really want?
I'm fighting at 135 pounds, and this is, each time I make the weight, I put on more weight in like 12 hours after the weigh-in. I put on 22 pounds this time, and that's crazy for me. But I'm fighting really tough guys. Yuri Alcantara is super dangerous. He's got 24 finishes and 28 wins, and you know he's the guy that could be a world champion. I mean, he's that level. So it makes sense for me to take fights with guys that are also talented, that people know who they are. So I just want some of those fights, and I've got guys in the weight class that are injured that could be fights like that. So I'm just open for anything, and I want to do fights that count, fights that people are excited about and are buzzing about. You know, so whatever that means, you know, I don't know, and I don't know if I'll get what I want, but it makes sense that it makes some big fights with me.
Yeah, and you know what? It's one of the things that I really respect about Uriah Faber. You know, a lot of guys, believe me, there's times you'll call a lot of guys, they'll say, I want this fight, I don't want that fight. You know, he doesn't say no to any fight. You know, no matter, he's the #2 ranked guy in the world right now. He knows and respects the guy and how tough he is. Comes in, that's what he does as a fighter. And that's one of the things that I always say. If you truly believe that you are the best in the world, you should be ready to fight anybody any day, and Uriah Faber is that guy.
Two quick ones for Connor. Number one, do you think you will need surgery on your knee?
I don't know. I heard a big pop and I let out a scream mid-round, but I passed into side control with it. But I when we stood back up, I was unsteady on it. I came out then for the third round. I chanced it, tried a couple of kicks, tried some shots, and I was wobbling on it. But I have it wrapped heavy now. But I don't know. Hopefully not. Hopefully not. I don't know. It's outside of me, so usually that kind of pressure takes about 6 weeks, but I don't know, only time will tell, you know what I mean? So I'll know the next day, I think.
Forrest Griffin's famous entrance song was the Dropkick Murphy song. He debuted that in Belfast. Here you were in Boston, and you came out to it. Other than the obvious shipping to Boston, was there any specific reason why you used that song?
I don't know, I stuck a little Sinead O'Connor on there as well, if you might know that. She moved through the fair. That's some true Irish shit right there, you know what I mean? That's some go to war shit, you know what I mean? So Dana wanted me to come out to U2, and I was like, yeah, no, but I had that one picked, and I ended up going with Dana, then it's okay, you know, so Sinead O'Connor, and then that Irish feel, and then kick into that Boston feel, it just felt right, you know what I mean? And blow the roof off the place, which is what I did, man. The reception I got was unbelievable, you know what I mean? It's something I take with me, and it was a special occasion for me.
Thank you. Question for Conor. You say you never have definitive game plans going into fights, but when you popped your knee in the second round, awful things must have been going through your head. What did you do to adjust going into the third?
That's why I don't have a game plan. Because anything can happen in this game. You can go out and your toe can hang off, you know what I mean? Your toe can come off your foot. You know what I mean? You have to adapt and you have to be able to adjust in the moment. So that's why I didn't have no game plan. I don't know, I didn't really think about, there's no way of stopping. I was in no danger. Not a deep breath did I take. I could have went another 25 rounds. I was never in trouble. You know what I mean? My knee popped, but fuck it, you know what I mean? It is what it is. I just went with what was comfortable, and what was comfortable was get the motherfucker to the ground, you know what I mean? And just play it from there, you know what I mean? But even still on the ground, I moved to mount, and I was trying to crawl my arm up, you know, like fucking the Adams Family, you crawl the thing up for the head and arm choke, and he was just holding on. So even I could have put a bit more effort into look at the posture a little bit. I hype myself up big, yeah. I hype myself up so big that everyone else hypes me up. But nobody critiques me more than I critique myself. You know, it's something, I plan on stealing the show every time. I plan on finishing everyone. Anyone in the top 10, anyone they want. I'm going for the finish. And I'll look to hit them with any part of my body, any limb I have, I'll swing it. You know what I mean? And that's what I'm looking to do, so I don't know, fuck it.
Just two quick ones for Dana. Just from what Conor said there, after his debut in Sweden, you had already in your head thought, yeah, Boston is where we want to next. Assuming he'll be, let's just say it is fine and he's back training on Monday, what would you think is next for Conor?
Well, I think what we need to do is, you know, he and I haven't talked yet, but probably need to fly him out west, get his knee looked at by, you know, real good guys and see what's up with them. But I think, you know, I don't know. We got to see what's wrong with him first. But I think the big thing tonight was obviously when a guy starts getting hyped like that, people start going, "Oh, he's going to get knocked out," and all these things are going to happen. I think the big question tonight that I saw that people were saying is, let's see what happens when this guy gets to the ground. And he was on the ground tonight with a bad knee. And, you know, he's definitely well-rounded. He's tough. He likes to fight. And tonight was a big win for him. Max Holloway is no joke. They're both two young, up-and-coming guys. And the thing about McGregor is he throws his kicks and punches from angles that other people don't. It's pretty unique.
And finally, you said during the week about, I don't want to be that guy, but you said during the week about a return to Ireland and it's on the cards. You've seen how persistent...
Every time you're that guy.
You've seen how persistent Conor is as a fighter. The Irish fans have just been on to us all week.
Who's here? Do you know the date we're going Ireland?
Let's go.
Yeah, we're going to get an answer for you, sir. We will have an answer for you tonight.
Thank you very much.
We will not have an answer for you, sir.
I have a couple questions. First of all, Dana, right here. What do you think should be next for Matt Brown on this great streak?
Mr. Fox, I don't know. You know, obviously tonight, that was a big win for him, man. Mike Pyle is a tough, crafty veteran, man. You know, again, Matt Brown, you know, accepts his fight tonight, and, you know, I heard, I'm going to say this, I apologize, but, you know, I'd heard in training, things didn't go so well for Matt Brown in training with Mike Pyle. And, You know, training is not fighting. Training is not fighting. He came out tonight and made quick work out of a guy whom a lot of people respect, tough, durable guy. So I think that tonight's fight put him in a real good position to, first of all, possibly, you know, get a spot in that top 10 and then fight one of the top, you know, one of the two guys in the top 10.
Matt, can you tell us about the problems in the training camp that you just mentioned?
What's up?
Can you tell us about the problems in the training camp that you just mentioned? You said your training camp might have some...
No, he said my pile beat me up in training, and he did. He beats up everybody in training. The guy in the gym is one of the best guys in the world. That's how it is, man. My pile really is one of the best fighters in the world. He just doesn't always put it together in the ring. You know, so I just come in to whoop his ass, man. I knew, you know, it was going to be me or him. So hopefully, you know, put me somewhere, you know, in a good position to get some big fights. I know in this sport, you know, you get what you earn, not what you deserve. So hopefully I earned something good here.
And for Travis, you mentioned in the first answer you gave that in looking at Overeem's last fight, you saw certain things that he did and certain tendencies. What did you see? What exactly did you see? And how much did you practice that front kick? Was that just something you saw in that moment? I just something you practiced?
Yeah, we see a lot of guys that fight like Overeem. They have their elbows out, and when you attack, they kind of duck their head and they kind of bring it down like that. So, you know, we saw that opening all day, and you know we're some of the best at Jackson's, and you can ask just about any of my training partners at Jackson's, because I've hit everybody with that shot, and they've pretty much all gone down. And when I hit him in the gut the first time, I felt him deflate, so I kept going back to it, and then as he kept dropping his elbows further and further, that's when I saw the opening to the head, and I took it.
One question for Michael. I'm just wondering what your thoughts were between the first and second round. You really put it on in the first. It looked like you could have got the finish and he's still hanging around. What do you think of yourself when you go back to your corner and what you have to do to kind of finally finish it?
I was really confused whether he had the toughest chin I've ever touched or whether I lost all my knockout power in between camps. More than anything, it was just kind of realizing, okay, I don't think I'm going to be able to put this guy away like I normally do. I touched him so many times, he's fallen like 3 times, and he just keeps getting back up. So like, you know what? I'm going to take the pace and the power down just a tiny bit, and I'm going to just keep landing shots, just keep touching them, and you know, it's kind of draining when you hit someone like that and you get that huge rush of adrenaline 3 times or 4 times in a fight, where your whole body starts working 102 miles an hour to knock someone out. You know, so I was just trying to calm my body and make sure I, you know, good for 3 rounds.
This was for Chael and Dana. With your role on Fox as an analyst and a host, and with the majority of the sort of back and forth between you and Vanderlei having taken place on Fox and then again tonight, does it make sense for that fight to take place on Fox Sports 1, or are you looking at it, since it's been such a long build, maybe more of a pay-per-view main event? And what would your preference be, Chael?
You know what? I don't have any idea. My preference would just be to get the match done, or to get him to rescind from the match and just move on. I don't want to keep on calling a guy out that doesn't want to do a fight, but I must respond. You know, it's kind of like politics. If one candidate says something, the other candidate has to respond. So I want to make it as clear as I know how to speak that I will fight Vanderlei at any time, at any weight class. If he changes weight classes, I will change weight class. If he wants to fight out of the country, I will renew my passport. I will not have an excuse. I will show up and I will fight him.
And Dana, your thoughts on that? I mean, do you think it makes more sense as a Fox Sports 1 main event?
I don't know, could be pay-per-view, could be, you know, it depends on where it lands, what time of month, and whatever.
And then real quick for you, Dana, and then I'll move to Travis Brown. Any plans to run a show in Connecticut anytime soon?
Yeah, I mean, we got got sanctioned there, definitely, I can see us going to Mohegan, one of those places.
That was my follow-up, was going to be, now that, it's fully legal in Connecticut, would you be trying to stay away from those, any casinos, or would you still embrace them like you guys did in the past?
They have legit, sanctioned by there, definitely.
Possibly before the end of 2014?
No, man.
And then lastly for Travis Brown, it seems like you and Verdum are the two guys in there who should be in line for the next shot after JDS. It looks like he's ready to go. Timetable-wise, just feeling after this fight, I know you said you went limp there for a little bit. Health-wise, do you think you might be ready in a timetable that makes sense to where you guys can maybe get in the octagon, and then the winner of that could be the number 1 contender?
Yeah, possibly. I had some issues during this camp, so I just have to get back to San Diego, spend some time with my boys, recover for a while, and just see how the body recovers in the next couple of weeks. I'm always game. I've never said no to a fight, and I've always been ready for anything that throw my way. So it's definitely not out of the question. It's up in the air.
I'm going to take 2 more questions, and the answer to your question is the 3rd quarter of next year. Okay.
For Uriah, you talked about your jaw, but after the fight, you got caught in an armbar early on, then after the fight, when you were talking to Joe Rogan in the cage, it looked like you were sort of holding everything's pulled with the arm.
Yeah, I didn't get caught in an armbar. He tried an armbar. But, my jaw's a little hurt. My worst fights is when someone physically injures me. Like Brow, who broke my rib 2 minutes in, broke my hand against Mike Brown, Jose Aldo kicked the crap out of my leg. So, but I'll still fight. I'm in there till the bitter end. I'll be hopping after the person, like trying to scratch at him or whatever. But, no, that armbar was an attempt. He was below the arm, and I wouldn't care anyways. The jaw was bothering me, but it just pissed me off, like I said, so I'm good.
And quickly for Connor, you expressed disappointment in the performance, but as Dana alluded to, you took the fight to the ground, you passed to full mount a couple of times at least, and I'm wondering if you think that this performance, while it wasn't one of your trademark knockouts, gives some people in your weight class something else to think about.
I don't care what anyone in my weight class thinks. I know what I can do. I know what I do in the gym day in, day out. Another thing people are saying, you got the 3 rounds in. I don't give a shit about getting the 3 rounds in. I do 300 rounds a week. You know what I mean? You stick me for 30 rounds in out there. So I wanted to finish. I'm looking to get paid here. We get looked after when we finish. This promotion wants finishes. You know what I mean? And that's what I'm looking for. These custom-made suits aren't cheap. You know what I mean? This solid gold pocket watch. 3 people died making this watch. You know? So I need to put people away. I need them big fights. I'm going to end up in debt pretty fast. You know what I mean? So I'm looking to hurry it along and finish everyone. You know what I mean? So that's my thoughts on it.
Let's take one more question. Yeah, 2 more. Yeah.
For Travis, I don't know if you've been able to sit down and watch replays, but in hindsight, did you think it was sort of like Anderson and Vitor?
No, because Anderson wasn't getting the work for the first 4 minutes.
Let's talk about the last 10 seconds.
Okay. Yeah, last 10 seconds was pretty good.